Hey, Space Watchers, and good morning from Manchester. It's day number 2 at the UK Space Conference, and you might have read the news this morning on our platform that ESA awarded a new contract here in the UK, and one of the participants in this contract is Orbit Fab. And I have the great pleasure now to talk with the managing director of Orbit Fab. What is Jacob Geer. Jacob, how are you doing this morning?
Hi, I'm good, Torsten. Very good to be here and very good to talk about our new contract that we have with ESA.
Wonderful. Tell us more about that. So, I leave this honor to you to tell us more about this contract, what is in, why, and so on.
So this contract is in the ESA ARTES program. It's all about how we refuel telecommunications satellites in orbit to enable them to extend their life and carry on generating revenue. So we're working with a major prime, so a satellite manufacturer, and a major telecoms operator to look at how we can change the operator's concept of operations and mission to enable them to be refueled, and then to change the platform itself to integrate our RAFTI valve, which is right here, onto their system to enable it to replace the fill and drain valve to make it refuelable in orbit. And we're specifically targeting electric propulsion, so xenon is the fuel of choice for electric propulsion satellites.
But that award, or this ARTES project, that's a demonstrator, or is it really something on a real satellite, because most of the valves are not implemented there yet in the old communication satellites?
This will be the systems engineering element of the project. So what we want to do is de-risk the systems engineering to understand what it takes to change everything to enable refueling. One of the key barriers we see for people in the adoption of refueling is not understanding how much it might take to change their current mission. And for GEO satellites with a long production and design life cycle, you have to start early. There's a lot of risk to be managed there as well. So we're doing it properly with these big primes and operators to make sure that we can de-risk their operations as best we can.
So, Orbit Fab Europe, how separate, how connected is it to Orbit Fab in the US?
We're quite independent from the US. So in the US they concentrate on military customers and chemical propulsion. Hydrazine typically is their main fuel. In Europe we focus on civil and commercial customers, particularly around electric propulsion and green propellants. In Europe the market for that is a bit stronger. So the RAFTI unit I showed you just now, we have redesigned that to enable it to be refueled with gases rather than liquids. So for xenon, argon and other typical EP electric propulsion propellants as well.
Great. So, the UK Space Conference here in Manchester couldn't be more timely for this contract, so maybe there's some correlation, but I'm just guessing. So, what does the conference brings you?
So in Manchester we've got good links with this area. So we have another in-orbit demonstration mission we plan next year outside of ESA, completely commercial. So we're going to go up on an Indian rocket next year at PSLV to demonstrate and test our new RAFTI interface in orbit. Again, de-risking it for potential customers, to see how the leakage performance is, to see what the thermal properties and the vacuum properties are. We'll do that, and we are doing that in Manchester because we want to honour a female engineer from here called Beatrice Shilling. You might not have heard of her before.
No, tell me more.
Unless you are a British valve or propulsion geek like we are at Orbit Fab, you maybe have not heard of her. She studied here at the University of Manchester, and then she redesigned a valve in the Spitfire aircraft's engine to enable it to dive more steeply because the fuel was flooding the engine, to enable it to actually work effectively. So she essentially was a key part of the Second World War in enabling that design to be improved.
That might be a reason that I'm, as a German, doesn't know about her. So.
I didn't want to mention that war, but it's okay. So she is like an unsung hero of the Second World War. She got an OBE, a British award for her work, but no one really knows her outside of the propulsion community. And here at Manchester they have a scholarship called the Beatrice Shilling Scholarship for female engineers coming to Manchester to study aerospace engineering and spacecraft engineering. We'll be involving them in our launch and mission campaign as we go through, and today we're announcing it at Manchester with them, with some of the scholars, to talk about the differences between now, the valves then, the valves now, and what it means to be redesigning our valve for the future.
It's a fantastic story, and thanks for sharing that with me, because in our morning show we reflected on the diversity that we see here in this conference, and my takeaway is here that the UK Space Agency, the UK space ecosystem is taking diversity very serious. So I'm I'm very grateful that you shared the story. So, what's next for you?
So we'll be working on our ESA project now. We'll be getting to work and delivering the first milestones. We have some more projects in the pipeline as well. We're not quite ready to talk about them just yet. Hopefully by the time we get to Bremen, to Space Tech Expo Bremen, we've got some other contracts to talk about, and maybe we'll catch up then as well.
Indeed. Great. Jacob, thank you very much for your time. And good luck for this for the project delivery. I think that's most important. With that, SpaceWatch out.